Well, good evening and welcome to another Scale Model Ninja. Tonight it's Warhammer night, and yes, I have actually been climbing. I've just done some, which is in figures, so I'm hoping they dry fairly quickly. It usually does dry fairly quickly, this primer. So we've got this one. It's a little bit tacky, but it will dry fairly quickly because we'll be doing this figure first. Hopefully, if it all dries off nicely. So as you know, tonight is Warhammer night. I was going to do the winged one, that one, but I think I'm still missing some parts. It's in the box somewhere. So I thought, well, I know all the parts for this one are there, and I was going to do that one next anyway, so we're going to do that one first. So hopefully everybody out there knows that I'm alive and well and everything's streaming okay. We'll just get this set up probably, because I forgot what time it was. So yeah, me being daft. So hopefully nobody saying I'm live. So there we are. Yep, okay, so we actually are live, I think. And we have Mr. David Mark in saying, evening Ross and evening folks. So good evening David and welcome to the stream. Now, just as a safety precaution, as we know that most of the time occasional swearage does happen on my streams, and I apologize if this is upsetting anybody, because I have actually just recently had a complaint, so I'll deal with this now. My streams are set for 18 years and older, so there shouldn't be anybody watching them live that's under 18. The only ones that are not set for 18 and over are the ones I do for my son on a Monday. So yeah, so please be aware if you are gonna be watching the stream. Sometimes swearing does come out, especially on a Friday night, because there's usually me and Marcus, and yeah, mayhem ensues, as they say. So as you know, tonight we are just putting along, and it's usually just me on a Tuesday, little old me. So we're just basically waiting for this guy. So what I'm going to do is actually put my little fan there, and that usually helps dry out a bit quicker. So if we have you, whoop, I will get this set up right in a minute. Circulate you there. There we go. Hopefully the fan's noise is not coming through too much on the actual stream. Hopefully, can't guarantee it, but there we go. But yeah, so yesterday I was building a Lego boat, as you all know, and well, whoever was watching, they will know it is a Lego boat. So that is, oops, looking the old flag flat. There we go. Fishing. That's about half of it done. So that's what I've been playing around with on a Monday, which is what I do for Roaring to watch on a Monday. We play around with Lego, just have a bit of fun, really. And there's enough blinking stickers that go in on it. So yeah, we did complete the Land Rover, so that was actually completed, and it's now downstairs in the stack. But there's also some little dudes that have actually come with us. We've got a bit drunk, so got little dudes like this, which are massive compared to the normal little Schlego dudes. But yeah, I think they look quite smart. Stay. So I've got 5 of them little dudes. The other thing I have been building is the Lego bike. Now that one, we started it and I'd forgotten that I'd actually started it. Now this is the Schlego project machine, whatever it's called. It's the BMW motorbike. But yeah, so I had started that, but for some reason or other I just left all the parts in the box and hadn't sorted it, so therefore I grabbed that one from the stash. And the other project I'm working on is still the 1/32 scale Lancaster, and I do that on the Friday. And at the moment we are getting the office done. So there's lots of different bits of photo etching and everything going on to this, and I am actually trying to hyper detail it, which you do when you get really invested in stuff like this for some strange reason. Well, I do anyway, so I get a bit carried away. And then I also mentioned about I'm just trying to make a bit of noise until this is sort of like semi-dried. It's taken a few minutes, but hopefully it should be dry fairly soon. Now, if it had been over the weekend, and if I'd remembered to actually prime the stuff over the weekend, they would have definitely been dry by now. Well, within 2 minutes they normally dry with the heat or what we've had. But I now have a collection of different Schlegel dismantlers. So I've got 4 different styles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do a little segment video of all the different little versions of Schlegel decouplers or whatever, just for the fun of it. I might just do that at some point, so God knows how many more I'll end up getting. So this figure that I'm going to be doing, he is called Knight Velexor with banner and of Apophis. So yeah, and this is actually from a set that I brought quite a while ago, actually, when they first released it. Where's the start? Oh, there you are. The Dominion set. So that's what it's part of. And these are actually the newer Age of Sigmar figures. The older style, completely different. But that was the figure I was going to do. And then at some point I will be doing this dude, because I think I've still got him somewhere in the box. Or I can't remember, I might have actually sold him, I can't remember. Because they're not really my, I think, the actual Orkies and white lot. I'm not really interested in them. I just like the shiny ones. But yeah. So the one I'm actually going to be building, as I say, is the Knight Velexor, which I just had a minute ago. Now I've got to find him again. If you give me a minute. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there we are. It is this dude here, the Knight Velexor, with Apophis flags. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be building tonight. He is at the moment just been primed, ready, and that's nearly dry. That's good. So we're just waiting for that to dry off a little bit more. Now with these, I find, especially with the Age of Sigmar figures, the Stormcast, I always prime these ones in white, because when you put the gold on top of the white, it gives a very, very good finish. So yeah, so that's why I've actually put him in white, and I do all them ones. But then if I'm doing like the Orcs and that lot, I'll generally use a grey primer, and then if I'm doing the Knights chapter, I'll use black. And it's all about the opacity of the paint, and it helps it sort of like layer and give a better finish, especially with when you do sort of like a black finish under the gold, or I find with a grey, it doesn't pop as much. So yeah, so let's have a quick look in chat, because we have 8 people in this evening so far. So good evening to you all. And first of all, we have David Mark here saying evening Ross and evening folks. And then we have Mr. Stephen Haynes in saying hi Ross. So good evening Steve. And he's also saying hi to David, and he got Stephen saying David saying hi to Stephen. And then we have Silver Scratch Built Productions in saying hello there. So good evening to you. And you got Stephen saying hi to Silver, and Silver asking what are you building. So yeah, as I just said, the Night Alexa with a flag. A Pothis flag. Then we've got Silver Scratch Built Production saying Warhammer. Nice. Yep. Well, tonight is Warhammer night. And then we have Stephen saying, I have the building blocks in Marto. It has 2,569 pieces. Now that's one I would like to get at some point. Is it the space version or is it actually the proper ship version? Because there's two different versions that I want to get both of them basically at some point. And then we have Craig Dukes in saying, hi Ross, hope you are well. I'm doing okay, as good as it can be. Just dealing with a few personal issues and everything like that. And as I said at the start of the stream, I've had a complaint come in that there has been too much swearing on the stream. So that's now going to have to be curbed for a bit. Then we've got Stephen saying hi to Craig, and Craig saying hi to Stephen. He's also saying hi to David and Silver. And we've got Silver saying Stormcast Eternals, I Prime all in black. Yeah, as I said, each to their own. I just prefer, and after a time I found that the white gave me a better finish with the gold going on top of it. So that's one of the reasons why I do that. I find with the black underneath the gold, it sort of dulls it down a bit too much. So hence the reason why I prime them in white. And it also helps when you're doing the reds and the oranges underneath them. And I just find it makes it pop a lot better. Then we've got Dave saying hello to Craig. So yeah, let's chat quite up for a minute. So yeah, but as I said, each to their own. We all have different methods. Now, I've not even got my paints and everything ready because I was too busy messing about, trying to get things primed and completely forgot about the time. But we will get there. So we'll just have a quick look at this a minute. Oh. So bottom cloak is blue. In the short. Okay. Oh, ow. So I'm just going to start grabbing some paints, I suppose. Yes, it's going to be kept family friendly from now on. Purely because I know my son is sort of watching these streams back, and so I don't have control over who watches my streams when they go past the live. Other than the fact that mine are set to over 18s, that's all I can do. Other than monitor the language that's used, as you do. That's what we need. That one. Oh, gold. This is the issue when you've got so many things on the go, like I have at the moment. Wow, knees. Retributor armor. And the Crag Blue. That one should be. That one, and it's the other one I want. Next to red, that's the one. And chrome red. And I use my silver gone. But then again, I usually use a different silver. Ow. Okay. So yeah, I actually use a number of different paints. So get them. But when I'm doing like the silver section, even though there is a Stormcast silver, I generally use my airbrush silver or aluminium. So I find it, just as I said, I find it giving me a better finish than what I want. Now that one, will I really have it on the bench? I might already have that on the bench, believe it or not. I do. There it is, silver. And we've got Stephen Haynes saying the Japanese battleship. Oh, very nice. I do have the 1/350 scale Yamato here. Well, in the back there somewhere. And I was lucky because when I bought it, there was actually a sprue missing from it. So when I bought it off the bloke, it only cost me 25 quid. And then it cost me 15 quid to order the sprue in from Tamiya. That was for the missing sprue, and I think it was like sprue C. It had the 2 rudder pieces on. So I ended up buying that, and yeah, in total the whole sort of like the top grade Yamato set, the newest one, cost me 40 quid instead of about 120. So yeah, bonus. So what we're going to do now, because I think we're all dry. So we're all nice and dry now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change over to my desk cam so you can actually see what I'm doing before I forget to do that, that is. There we go. So there we go. It's always good to be able to see what I'm doing in it, really. So what I'm going to do first is use the Retribute armor. As long as it's still good. Ooh, that's looking a bit stanky. A bit of stick. Let's give it, see if we can give it a mix and bring it together. Because, as you know, I've been out of painting for a while, or out of building models for a while. And yeah, that's gonna need a little bit more help than I can give tonight. Yeah, it's got a bit skidgy. So what I'm going to do is I will revive this, but I just won't be doing it tonight. So lucky enough, I should have a spare pop in the drawer of goodness. So there we go. So yeah, give it a quick buzz on the old. Yeah, that sounds a bit bad. Not so noisy. You've got Craig saying you have to love the Yamato build. Yeah, there we go. Should hopefully give it a good mix, bit of a good mix up. There we go. Ooh, that looks better. So yeah, that does look a lot better than what the last pot was. Let's move this under my rack away to give myself some more room on the bench. I made myself a little stand for it to sort of like have everything sit on nicely and allow me to put my keyboard underneath out of the way, because it's like with the old with the screen and everything, it just took up way too much room on my desk because I'm not using the widest part, which is here, sort of like facing that way. You do need to be on anymore. So we'll put you up there, back out there anyway. So lucky enough, this part we'll generally be painting all with the Retributor armour, and then we're going to be highlighting parts out on it. You got Steven saying you need some thinners in that, Russ. Yeah, it will do. I'll put some thinners in it, and I do have some thinners for it anyway, so I will be using it. There's the aluminium and the copper's there, which is good. So I don't need you now. Now let's see. Yeah, that's the brush. Now, later say I will be picking out more detail from it. So what's everybody else building at the moment then? Anything good? Or should I say what's on your benches? Like, as I've actually, well, when I finish building this one, I will be doing the base like most of the other ones, putting different foliage and everything onto them. There we go. The one thing I like doing about the flags and everything is the amount of detail that's generally in them. And we have Mr. John Paul in saying hi all. So good evening, John Paul. And you got everybody saying hi to John Paul. And Craig saying nothing on the bench tonight. I have the night off after work. Ooh, lucky you. I mean, this is going to be the first figure I've painted in quite some time. And you got Craig's Stephen saying, waiting for the weather to cool down. Well, lucky enough, we've actually had rain most of the day today, but it has still been sort of warmish. Which in a way has been good, but yeah, I can understand why you're wanting to wait. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't actually, I didn't want to carry on with the Lancaster build on Friday because it was just way too hot, and especially when you're doing all the detail work and everything. And it was like, I did do a test for about half an hour before stream. I thought, well, I'll give it a go, see if I can paint anything. And no, I couldn't, because the paint was just literally drying on the brush from the heat. So yeah. Well, nope, I'm not even going to try that. think I ended up building some Schlego. And that was the Land Rover, I think it was. There we go. That's that bit done for a minute. So yeah, there we go. Doo-doo. So that's just all base coated in gold first. And we have Mr. Jeff Lighting saying, good evening, Ross. Or hi, Ross, and all in Chatland. So good evening, Jeff. And welcome to the stream. And good evening to the Lady Maggie. Now, this is the last figure my son was painting before he left. And he wants me to do a bit of work on it, but I've decided I'm just going to leave him as he is, because he just sits there as a little mascot now. So he just sits on a bench and he's staying there. He's not going anywhere. Now I'm not going to cover this whole piece, this one, in gold, because there is going to be quite a bit of blue and red going onto this as well. I'm just going to do the top half. Now I will be putting a Reichland, I think, no, not Reichland, it's another one, I think it's a rose one, something or other, wash over this. I find that does help when it comes to sort of accentuating the gold a bit more. The one thing I like about the Age of Sigma figures is that you just get a hell of a lot of detail you do have to work with. Yeah, you've got Craig saying hi to Jeff, you've got Stephen saying hi Jeff, Light, and Maggie, so good evening Maggie. Then we've got Stephen saying yes, it was the Land Rover. Yeah, that's all now finished and it's now in the boys' room. So I will be taking photos of that. And they will go up on normally on my TikTok page, where I put all my Schlego builds, as I call them. I also post other things that I've built, i.e. models, onto that my TikTok page when they're finished. But I do have two accounts. One of them you'll find that it's purely like Warhammer and normal models, and the other one is a mixture of Warhammer and Schlego, but mostly the Schlego on one of them. Did I get the lead belcher up? No, I didn't. Left the lead belcher behind, the one that I do need. Because we have some armour scales, but I think shall I? Yeah, lead belcher. Because then I can use the other one. Oh, out. If I can actually. Where's your lead belcher? Cryptic armor. That's the one I wanted. That's ignored, but this is the one I want. Cryptic. I find it looks better when doing like the armor scales at the front here. There's these little scales here, and I normally do them in the cryptic armor because it gives it like almost a worn, rusty effect as well. So it's quite good that way. Let's hope you're in good condition. Just got a load of junk caught behind there, so we're gonna have to clean that out before we mix that up a bit too much. Now I'm sure you've all seen me, or if you try and remember, that how I clean out the rims around these, because anybody that knows that uses Citadel, there is an inherent issue with these. So what I do is normally pop them inside out like so, so that breaks the seal where all that dead paint is. Then I get a pair of tweezers. There we go. And there we go. So that, all that is just dead paint that's dried in the rim. But it's cleaned it all off in one go. It takes that all out of the way. So, yep. And then all you do is pop it closed again, and the rim of your lid is all cleaned out. And that's how I clean mine out much quicker. And then we just pop it back over, close it up like so, pull the little tab back through like so. There we go. And there we go. So now it's actually fully sealed properly, because I just have a habit of actually blocking up very, very quickly, and the fact that I've not used it in quite some time, it does mess it up a little bit. And we have Mr. Scott's modelling saying hello everyone, and I see a B17. Yes, you do. That's the old monogram kit, believe it or not, if I remember rightly, in 148. So, and then there's the Hercules behind it and the AWACS. But there's also the other build that I finished, which was the Archicopter. I think I actually finished that on somebody else's stream, I can't remember now. But yeah, it is finished. So I don't know if you actually saw it from last week. Whee! Whee! Copy webs already. So yeah, whee! Here it is, the Archicopter. Bring this up a little bit. There we go. So that's what I finished off last week, which has been over a year in the making. The only thing missing off this at the moment is the decals, because I can't find them at the moment. I know there are around here somewhere, but because everything's still in boxes, so I'm not fully unboxed everything yet. So yeah, but yeah, quite happy with how that's finished off or completed itself. So we'll put you up there for a minute. Chat's just jumped up a little bit. Let's catch up again. We've got Steve saying hi to Scott's models, and then we've got David saying hi to Scott, and then we've got Joshy B and saying evening Ross, folks in chat. So good evening Joshy, and welcome to the stream. Then we've got Jeff Light saying hi, good day to Scott, and then we've got David saying hello to Joshy, Stephen saying hi to Joshy, Scott saying hi to Stephen and David, and then we have Mr. JC Bricks and Belgium saying evening Ross and all in chat. And we've got David saying hello to OHN. He's also saying hi to JC. And then we've got Joshy saying David, Stephen, Cover, Jeff, and Maggie. And David's also saying hello to Alicia. And then we've got JC Brixville saying, oh dear, I came in and see Ross playing with his buzzy machine. Don't tell Dan. Then we've got Scott saying, I built that same kit back in the 80s. Yeah, well, that's how old that one is, I think. It's the if not older. So, and then we've got JC saying hi to David. He also is just saying hi to Joshy. Then we've got JC, Stephen saying hi, JC, Bricks and Bills, and Alicia. And then we've got JC saying good day to Scott. And then we've got JC saying hi to Stephen. And then we have Mr. Chrono Man himself in saying hi all. So, good evening, Chrono. Welcome to the stream. And then everybody's saying hi to Chrono. So, yeah. Now, as I've stated before, earlier on with people that have just joined us, I have received a complaint about the use of naughty words on the stream. So we are having to behave ourselves a little bit more, I'm afraid. Just for the time being, until everything settles down again. But yeah, the complaints department received a complaint. So yeah, I will be doing it because I found out that we are having a few younger people watching the stream, but some of them shouldn't be because it is rated as 18. Am I getting the right on it? Nope, that's the wrong one. That one. Ooh, that's looking a bit stodgy as well. So I'm going to give that a good mix up again at some point. There we go. That's definitely looking a lot better. Joshy, I'll give you a buzz afterwards and explain where that complaint came from, mate. That one, or was it? Oh, it's that one I want. Boom. Now, if anybody wishes to join me this evening, just give me a message and I will send you the link. You're more than welcome to come and join me. Because it is sometimes nice just to have somebody in to help with the carry on with everything, as they say. Scott Moore saying, just cover everyone. Hello to you all. Fair enough, Scott. Easy way of doing it. And then we've got, yay, I'm one of the young people watching. Well, more or less, from Chrono. Also one of the most insane people in the chat. But there we go. And then we got Josh saying, yep, no worries. And then we have Mr. Sprue and Glue himself in, saying, hi, Ross, and chat. So good evening, Sprue, and welcome to the stream. I think I might just That's all right. Everybody saying hello to Spring Loot, saying hope you're well. And as people know, in the past, I do like putting my own little spin on certain things when I'm painting them. And it's like, this is supposed to be, the background was supposed to be like blue as well, but I like to give them more of a, like a red back part of the cloak, which adds a bit more of a depth colour. Okay. So, yeah, you got Joshy saying, we all know you're innocent, Quino, honestly. And then we've got Joshy saying hi to Sprue, and then we've got David Marcus saying hello to David, and then Springer saying, I hope you're all well and good. So, yeah. Another one I think is going to have to need a, yeah, that one's going to have to need some thinners as well. So that's that one. But we'll go back into the drawer of goodness. Ah, no, we don't. Oh, gold. Then we've got Mr. Athel McNichol joining us, saying, so this is where all the cool kids hang out with the old Codger Ross. Of course. What more could you want? So yeah, so that's Mr. Athel late on parade there. He's normally in fairly quickly. Excuse the buzzy sounds again. But yeah, my desk will get organised at some point, but there we go. It's going to take a little while, as they say. We've got Apple saying evening, Stephen and Sprue, Joshy and Dan, and then we've got everybody saying hi. Paul and Connor saying, Ross, what is this with the one of name for the person who is more insane than me, and I shall dispatch the assassins to deal with this pretender onto the throne. Yeah, well, yeah, true, I suppose. It's actually quite nice doing a figure for once again. It's just a bit fiddly again, though, from what I remember. Mm-hmm. There we go, so that's where it's going so far. We'll need another coat of the Cantor yet. We've got David saying hello, saying hi to Jeff and Lady Maggie, and after saying sorry Ross, I was polishing off a kebab that Celia brought home. Yes, food is always important. Can't fault having a good nosh on some grub. Okay, so it should be start these again. Let's go over this again. There we go. And you've got Quina saying, Ross, what the criff was that vibrating thing you put your paint in? I swear I can get the giggles over the sound it made. Yeah, that's it's actually a nail varnish shaker. It's this thing. But it does a brilliant job of just stirring up the paints. It vibrates quite nicely to stir them. But it's mainly designed for doing like nail varnish bottles. So they just sit in, or you just turn them up like that, and it goes in. You just push down, automatically starts. But it's rigged up to sit on the bench over this side. But I will be at some point getting a sound cushion mat to go underneath it and to hold it in place, and it'll get screwed down to the bench so it doesn't go all over the place. That's what it's just rubbing on, knocking onto anything around there, and then it just makes that lovely vibrating noise. And that's what I also need, was the Ashbati bone again. Ashbati bone, where are you? And that's down. Where are you? That's a skull. That's a skull. Ah, there you are. That's what I want. Yeah, well, a lot of these have actually gone a bit dry, so it's a matter of giving them a good shake. I mean, this one I end up managing just to save the Ashbati bone one, because I think there's plenty of it in there, and it's sort of like sort of semi moist, as they say, just to cheer up old Chrono there. And there is actually some runes that are in this tabard here, or the Gonfalon part, which I will be sort of bringing out on the actual piece at some point. I detail it up a bit more. Yeah, that's what I've done there. what can I say? You have a nail varnish to go with that. Not that I'm full of envy. Varnish. The auto carrots got caught him. But yes, I don't have any nail varnish to go with it, right? But sometimes I will get like one of the bottles of like the really red nail varnish, and to give it like a gloss finish, because I sometimes use that on aircraft navigation lights, or if I've got like fire extinguisher bottles. And nail varnish gives a perfect gloss finish, I must admit. Just one of those things that I've messed about with in the past to see how things go. And it does work, believe me. So stranger things have happened in the sea, as they say. That's like I said, folks, if anybody wishes to join me, you're more than welcome. Just give me a shout in the chat and I will send you the link. And you've got to say, it's the chalky paints that are the nightmare with Citadel. I found White Scar and Corax White. Found a pain so far. Yeah, they can be. It's one of the reasons why I very rarely use either one of them, because they tend to clump up and go really, really lumpy very, very quickly. Not long after you've actually opened the damn things. And I don't know why, but it always seems to be them and only them that go that way. Strange as it seems. But yeah, totally agree with you on that one. But yeah, I mean, a lot of my paints I've, like with the Valleos and that, I have actually gone through them as I was putting them into the shelves, and had shook them up as I was doing them one at a time to try and help sort of like break them again. Switch over to that one. There we go. You got Josh. Just a minute. Put it in here. What Alpha saying? 2 drops of paint thinner and 1 drop of paint retarder in every pot of that paint. Then give the pot a good mix in, Joshy B. So yeah, but no, I mean, yeah, it can be, as I said, most of them can be recovered, but it's just with them too, the whites, that Citadel make. They're just very, very chalky, and they go quite lumpy very, very quickly. And I've had issues with them all the time. But yeah, I agree, that's all you really need to do, Athel. And then you've got Josh saying they're good for dry brushing with, but just as long as you don't go overboard. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably end up doing some highlighting on the cloak in a bit on this one. Then you got Chrono saying, Joshy B, your Citadel Whites drove me insane for being like cottage cheese. Second day I opened a brand new bottle. What do you mean it drove you insane? You're already insane. So how can it drive you insane? Very strange question there, Quino. And Yoshi saying, yeah, Carl mentioned the same thing, Ethel. I need to get some of that. Now I do have some thinners, and it's the Humble one I have. Not the best in the world, but it was actually given to me by a gentleman that actually quit the hobby altogether. So he didn't want anything for him. He just turned up to my doorstep one evening. And I mean, the only reason why I got to meet this guy was because he actually used to deliver for Every, and then he noticed the models in the window. And yeah, I've got the acrylic thinners. That's all I use. And then I've also got the enamel one. But I don't actually own many enamel ones. Wraithbone is another one that's a nightmare down. The one tub of Corax I think has separated. I haven't opened that yet, and it does look right. Yeah, I mean the Wraithbone one, yes, that's another one. I mean, I do have one here that's separated as well. Where is it now? Just picked the damn thing up as well. Oh, there it is. So that one, you can see that it's actually separated out as well, and that one is Dawnstone. So that again will need a very, very good mixing. So you can see all the black and everything's all separated out in it. So, and it is quite soft still. I don't think I've actually opened that one, but I do need to go through all my Citadel paints and sort of like give them a good remix. But yeah, there you go. That one's White Scar, and as you can see, it's actually separated there. So yeah. So that's another one that will need a good mixing again. But I've got to go through, as I said, go through the Citadel paints, and I will get that all sorted. Then you got Chrono saying, "Okay, Russ, I'll redefine it to what you humans call sane." You got just saying contrast paints though, and shades, and those ones, they're okay. They just leave a thin layer on the side of the tub. I much prefer using those to base or layer paint. Yeah, I mean, I've got a few contrasts, and generally they mix together. The only one that I ever had an issue with, which is the green, one of the green paints I have, the contrast, and that one does separate every time, and that's the Tesseract Glow. Now, as you can see, all the actual sediment goes right to the bottom and stays there. So it's a pain in the bum. And that one does take some mixing. But there's also a little trick about this one that I don't know if many people know, but if you put a blue light to it, it actually glows up. Ooh, camera's gone a bit screwy. Why have you gone out of focus? Come on, focus back in here. Come on. Oh dear me. Nah. Don't start playing silly buggers, camera. Or is it just my screen? That's weird. For some reason or other, on the actual live stream, the camera's got the screen perfectly clear, but yet on my main screen, you see it's all blurry. Oh. Ah, there we go. Give the camera a thump and it's gone back to normal. Strange. Yeah, as you can see, this one, it literally, even when you turn it upside down, it all sticks to the bottom because there's like a powder in there. But it does, if you get like a blue light on it, it actually glows up. Quite good. I do use that quite a bit when I'm doing like the cryptic armor ones and that lot, the mechanical ones. I think I just need to paint more models and actually use them. Yeah, generally, I mean, as you can see from over here, oops, one of my paint racks there, and then I also have another one just there, and then there's also a drawer full there. That goes all the way back, so that's why they're ped drawers. So yeah, I've got way too many paints than what I actually need, I think. Oops, just knocked all my sticks over. Let me shot glass. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, quick. Bring him back over around. There we go. Sorry about that. You got Yoshi saying I haven't got that one, but that one is on my list to get. I do plan to use it. Yeah, I mean it does bring when you use like a white base underneath it, or even then, or like an orange then layered with the oh god, croaky throat. There's like a red, an orangey wash one and a yellowy wash one. I use them as well, and I layer them over each other, and then you put that on the outside edge, and it just looks as though the actual blade's glowing, and then it's like a green lightning coming out of the blade, and it looks pretty good when you do it that way. And you're saying I also want a moot green to go with it. You've got Gwen saying I have some paints that glow in the dark after I hit them with a black light. I did use the word paint then, didn't I? Yes, you did. Then you've got to say, George was just thinking, Ross, because of the time later in the morning or in the day tomorrow, I'll be easier for me to talk as I'll explain to you over the phone. No worries, mate. I will do so. So I'll be back home for 4 o'clock because I go to my mental health group tomorrow, and we go and do some work on the local allotment where we grow veggies and everything, and we use them veggies for that. Nice to give something back to the community, and it just allows me to actually interact with people because I don't generally go out a lot now. The fun and games of dealing with anxiety. And depression. It's not one of the easiest things in life to deal with, but we get round through it and everything. Things are slowly getting better. Oh, sounds like the boy races are out tonight. And we had the one up the road that's in his Audi. We're lucky enough they don't actually come down my road anymore. They just zoom up and down road because they know where the road humps were. Because on the first day that they put the new road humps in my road, the Audi guy came screaming down there from this part, from like that way over this way, off of another road, and yeah, he didn't realise they'd put these new road humps in, and he bottomed out and took his front splitter off. Absolutely hilarious. Because all you could hear was this rather loud scream coming as he got out of his car to look at the damage he'd done. And then his mate that had come screaming round behind him ripped off his oil pan. But that was the reason why we got them put in there, to stop that from happening, because our road used to be used as a rat run, speeding through on it. And then when you've got like kids sort of walking up and down the street, especially during the summer holidays, you're forever worried about whether or not they're going to get hit by these blooming cars. And they don't care. And they proved that when they actually hit a young lad a couple of years back. And they just didn't care one bit. They just drove off. But unlucky enough for that person, he was caught 2 hours later. Because there's too many of us up on this road that actually have CCTV footage that covers the area. And you know what you're saying, what a bird. Just saying, I've got a couple of those recently, Steve. Oh, I missed something there. I didn't know. Doop. You're saying, JC printed me a larger version of a Termagant, which I have plans to paint with that colour. Very good. And then Stephen Haynes saying, someone said Vallejo model colour paints are good for figures. Yes, they are. I mean, as you can tell, I use Vallejo model paints all the time. And I used to, when I first started off back into the hobby, I used to have a lot of oil-based paints. Or then I went on to the Revell paints. And I thought, no, don't like them. They're okay, but they're just not as good as what I wanted. And then it's then I bought some of the Vallejo model color ones, and yeah, straight away I enjoyed them. I found that I got a very good finish straight from the bottle with them, and you don't have to do any mixing with them. And then, as I said, you also get the Model Air versions as well, and then you need to actually thin them down either, because they come ready set for going into an airbrush. Sounds like somebody's woken Ollie up. And model making Kitty tried to make his way up here earlier on, but couldn't quite manage it, so fell through the ladder. Which I thought was quite funny. And he goes, I've got a couple of those recently, Stephen, which I used. One of it was alright, to be honest, and I brought them for £1 each from a guy at the modelling group. He said he has loads more. Yeah, a blue model colour. Can't fault them. I mean, you can get different versions for, or sets, I should say, for German armour, which actually have the proper colours and everything. That camera's gone again. Why are you doing that? Come on, Logie. Ah. Oh, camera's having a bit of an issue tonight. Don't know why. It's a bit blurry. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's better. Just saying what that, and then Quinn saying, glad you said it was a car engine. I thought I farted. And then you got Josh saying, Stephen, I got an old gold gunmetal blue and gunmetal grey. I'll get some more off him when he brings them in, but the old gold is really nice. Yeah, I mean, I do have them as well, but I think, yeah, they are on that rack over there somewhere. Or are they? Yeah, they're on that rack. But I do have like my airbrush, and I do have other different versions, paints and everything over there. But yeah, you can get like, yeah, that camera is definitely having an issue today. I don't know why. Right, where's the cloth? Screw you on it while I do some maintenance to the camera lens. I think there might be some. That would be nil. I think that's better. There we go. Are you going to hold focus now? There we go. I think that's better. Give it a quick clean, and then it's obviously worked better. And I was saying, last night up at mine during heavy rain that lashed out, a Scooby aquaplaned into another parked car, smashed the side in, and sat in the car till the cops arrived. Neds and their toys. Yeah, sadly you'll get them wherever you are. And Stephen saying, I have World War I and World War II figures to paint, so I need to get some. Yes, you can actually get figure sets from Vallejo as well. I mean, AK also do some very, very good figure sets. And they do an Indian, from like a cowboy and Indian version one, skin versions, and then they do different paint sets. But as I said, with German armour, like, you can't fault Vallejo. And you got Quinn saying, I've been on the receiving end of 3 hit and runs. They need to start making cars out of wool, I think. And you're actually saying, Stephen, the AK figure paints are good also. I have, if you haven't tried those, I have a few of those also. And you've got Apple saying below, figure paint sets are a good consideration to think about buying, Stephen. Buy them in sets of 6 coloured variation. Yeah. And they actually aren't that badly priced either, which is one good thing. I mean, they're a lot cheaper than the Tamiya paint. So yeah, we've gone from being blurry now. So hopefully everything's staying a bit clean now that I've cleaned the lens. You got quite then. Sprungler, his name's still in focus, yeah. Then we've got Stephen saying, Ethel, and yes, I'm looking at the German set and the Allied set, but needs some single colours as well. Yeah, I mean, they do. I mean, it depends on where you are, Stephen. I mean, well, they actually don't. I mean, I get mine, all my single paints and everything like that, from Halifax Models over in Halifax. Now, to stop me from spending silly money on models, which always seems to happen when I go over to his shop, I always end up leaving with a very, very, very empty wallet. I normally just ring him up, tell him what colours I want, and he will then post them out to me at the cost of postage on top of the whatever I buy. And I think my last paint order was 75 quid, I think. But he also does all the Tamiya paints, the Citadels, Revels, Mr. Hobby ones. So he does all them and Revels. So you can get a very, and he also does sets as well. If he hasn't got them in, he will order them in. And you just basically order them out, and he'll just deliver them, send them out in the post. You're saying it's probably just cooling down after spending the last week in sauna room. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Poor old camera. I use the old gold one in replacement of Retributor armor, and I prefer the old gold one. Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's each to their own. And with me, I'm happy the way that sort of is turning out. So it's getting there, slowly but surely. That's the point. Usually if you turn the other light on, Ross. There we go. That's a bit better. So that's coming together, and then the back of it is all coming together slowly. So yeah. And then I'll be using the, I did pick it up, I think, did I? Yeah, this one. It's the Reichland Flesh Shade. I use that over the armour, and it gives it almost like a oldie look on it as well. And then you got Ethel saying, Stephen, advise you check local model shops and sell via layout or army painter. Very good. Saying, oh my god, Ross's cleaning cam gave me flashbacks being 4-year-old and my grandma trying to wash my face off. The one by me doesn't sell the layer paints. As I'd say, there's plenty. I mean, you can even get sets off of Amazon. They do sets, and they're not too badly priced. They are a bit pricier than David is Halifax models, but most model shops that do sell online, you'll find them in there shopping around for prices. And just saying, speed paints do a good job, good range. Also, their hardened leather paint, absolutely beautiful. I've got some Revell paints I haven't opened yet, but I have a model car to paint with those. And then you're kind of saying, just for the record, my grandma trying to wash my face off didn't do nothing to sort out my potty mouth. She obviously weren't using enough soap. Josh is saying about if metallic paints, but unlike recipe drama, old gold doesn't build up in layers on the side of your tub, so you can't close it. Yeah, that's very true. Well, all Citadel paints do that. Doesn't matter what you use. They always end up getting clogged and they end up looking where the lids don't sit properly. And I just showed earlier on the trick that I use to actually clean the lids out, which keeps them from. And it says the one by me sell only Tamiya or MIG. MIG's not a bad paint, but I generally don't get on with that much. Then what you're saying, I'm sure you will find them on the internet, Stephen. I'm trying to think of a website Carl told me about a while back. I think they're in Wales. There's all different ways. I mean, I also use Hataka. Now, these are buying sets because this is actually the set that I'm using for the Lancaster, and I bought them specifically for that. I have a set that I use for me 124 F4F Grumman Hellcat from Airfix, and I've got a set for them, the American Navy set, and that's I think which set are you? That's an AK set. What's that other set that I have? Ooh. And I've got the D&D set for paints, and these I mainly use for figures as well. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I do have quite a good collection. I only if I don't like them, I'll generally yeah. It's not looking too bad. So now we're going to do some armor highlights. Now this one is actually an airbrush paint that I'm going to be using next. It's the copper one. Now I love using this because you don't need a lot of it, but it does sort of like go on very, very well. You've got Steven saying, I'm going to the Avon model show in 3 weeks. We'll see if there's some there. They all would have thought so. There'll be somebody there that no doubt will be selling them. Now, we do have a little bit of filigree inside the pauldrons there, so we're going to be doing that with silver. And you got Jeff Light saying Firestorm Games Joshy is the website, and then you got Stephen saying Apple saying try Jadland models online as they have a comprehensive paint ranges. Yep. And you go, Josh is going, that's them, Jeff. I've literally just found the website on Google now and check and see if they have any Vallejo. Well, I said, if you have no luck there, as I said, just try Halifax Models World. They're online as well. Or he's online. Or just give the shop a phone call. And so he's always willing to post stuff out. Yep, that's them bits done. Yeah, go ahead, Joshy. I don't mind you posting the link in there. It's for everybody. It means that everybody's then gets the chance to go and look. So I have no issues with that whatsoever, Joshy. So crack on, mate. Now, that's what I need. And there you go, he's put the link up there for you. You got quite saying most of my paint brush painting isn't done with Citadel paints, but the daft names get on my nerves because I can just search of copper and metallic colours. I have to work out, was it lead, belcher or screaming bell? The copper colour one, which is I think Rune Lord Brass, is almost like a copper colour one. And then there's also Cryptic Armour. It's almost got like a coppery colour to it. You've got just saying cheers, and then we've got Athel saying, okay, Ross, it's bedtime, night all. So, good night, Athel. Thank you very much for joining us. It is very, very much appreciated. And as I said, if you're enjoying the stream, please hit the old thumbsy up, because that does help with the old algorithmics. Itchy nose. And everybody's saying bye to Apple. I'll have to give that brush a very good clean at some point. It's starting to split a bit, so maybe time to get a new brush out in a bit before I clean up them. Yeah, it's just starting to split the hairs a bit. So lucky enough, I do have a selection of new brushes, and there should be one there. Aha. There we go. Yep, that's on. Because I've yet to go through all my brushes as well to clean them up from when they've actually been sat for so long. And what I'm actually trying to do here is actually bring out the runes on the Gonfalon. And it can be very, very twicky. That's why I'm using, I think this is a 10/0 brush for this one. I'm literally just using the tip of the brush to go into the gap or the indentation, and that is all. Let's look at this. Look at that. And this is where you've got to be having a really, really steady hand. Nearly done. There we go. And that was meant to say done, not don't, but I've been awake since 1 AM Sunday, so me dyslexicals are on top form for bugging the hell out of me right now. And you got Stephen saying, thanks Joshy, we'll give them a look after Ross ends. Well, fair enough. We've only got like 20 odd minutes, so just a little bit there. So there we go. So we've got the, it's not easy to see that actually, but I do that, you can just see, hopefully it will let, oh there we go, you can just make out the letters in the actual tab that he's got there on his side. So that brings them all out nicely. And you've got just saying, okie dokie Stephen, I've not ordered off them myself, but there's a few people who have mentioned it to me. Wayne was another person. So YouTube goes from not posting my messages to now duplicating them again. That isn't the first time it's happened. Oh dear. Yeah. You're not having great fun with old YouTubers lately, are you, Joshy? I think I should change its name to AdvertTube. Yeah, I'm not sure how many advert breaks my streams had so far. It's no doubt had a few, but sadly there's absolutely nothing I can do about it unless I go and pay stupid money for it, and I ain't going to be doing that. Sorry, but no. You got you have like saying one piece of advice for any brush painters is the master's brush cleaner and preserver. Yes, I do have some, and I do use it all the time. And that's why all my brushes will be going through. That's a good cleaning service, because as I said, I've not used them for such a long time, and I've had to rely on using some of my newer brushes, which I didn't want to do at the moment. But yeah, I've got probably say 200 brushes that I've got to go through and clean, that have been sat for doing nothing for such a long time. Quite saying, Ross says this is when you have to have a real steady hand. And all 7 of my 3 defective brain cells scream out for me to sneak up behind him and go boo. Am I naughty? Bad man. My nephew was watching the highlights from the wrestling yesterday on YouTube. There was an advert every 30 seconds for over 1 minute. Even on Netflix, the adverts on it are longer than the wrestling. Yeah, everything's now going to the point of having adverts, because that's where they create their revenue by all accounts, and it's getting beyond a joke now. And it's like when I've tried to watch things on YouTube and all of a sudden it will just keep dumping adverts in, I just stop watching it. It puts me off completely. And so you're saying, yes, you're right, Joshy, too many adverts on there now. Yeah, sadly there's no control over it, and as I said, unless you pay stupid money to go ad free, and even then it doesn't always work, which is a shame really, because it never used to be this bad. You used to get like the odd 1 or 2 adverts, fair enough, didn't mind that, but it's like what Josh said, near enough every bleeding minute now they have stupid adverts on. thinks Ollie's getting to the point of where he wants out, but he can wait a few minutes. Yeah, we've only got another 10 minutes or so before we finish the night. Right, today I've had a bit of a laugh today with one of my neighbours who's disabled. He goes around in his little wheelchair. He wanted his front door painting, so I actually went and gave him a hand doing that today. And my payment was a box of Jaffa cakes and 3 cups of tea. The one thing I like about using the airbrush paints when it comes to doing detail work, I find it actually flows in to them a lot nicer. And it does give you nice clean crisp edges as well. Unless you get shaky hands and then it just sort of goes everywhere. There's one thing I found when actually using metallic paints, it does knacker your brushes a lot quicker. There. So that's his nonce cap done. So you can see it's got a. There we go. There we are. Yeah. Slowly bringing the detail out on him. Let's see. Question. I have that premium thing is no adverts here at all because Captain Posh Panties. You just say I watch a random range of stuff on here, Stephen, from modelling, history, gaming, also paranormal stuff. Most of them have adverts at the start. Some have adverts. Some don't, but some have adverts every 10 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much standard. And you got Steve saying, I will not pay $19.99 not to have ads. Yeah, same here, per month. And you got Corno saying, me neither, Stephen Haynes. I'm only paying about £4 a month. And you got Joshy saying, I agree. What the annoying part about that is when you think about it, they put adverts in there and then charge us to have them removed. So technically they're doubling the money off us and the advert. Very true. And it's got something, you're right there, Joshy, and that's looking nice, dude. Thank you very much. It's getting there. I mean, it's not up to your level, I don't think. Mr. Award-winning painter. And you got Stephen saying looking good, Ross. Well, thank you very much. I said it's just basically getting the detail in now, and there's a lot more yet to do on it because there's also like a little lion's head on his knee pad there. That's got to be brought out in detail. So I'll be doing that, and there is a different gold that I use just for these lion head parts. So I find it then brings out a bit more sort of like layering of it all. So yeah, it's looking good. I'm quite happy with the way that's turning out so far. But then there's this big section to do. So that's going to be the next fun part to do. But we may well be leaving that, I think, until next week. But these are the sort of things I like doing because it all brings out all the detail of all the lightning strikes and everything like that, and the centre carapace and everything. And then there's also letters, or runes I should say, all in the actual parts there. Now considering on the actual thing they're supposed to paint all this gold and then have a different colour, bringing the letter out of silver or something like that, but I normally do use the Ashwati bone for it and then change it that way. I find it looks a hell of a lot better. You got kind of like, yeah, looking tasty, Ross, and the models looking good too. Oh, thank you, Rhino, I think. Now, I did mention a couple of weeks ago that I was going to give away a paint rack, and I have actually now cleaned it. Mainly because I don't actually use this one anymore, and it's actually an official Vallejo paint rack, as you can see. I'm actually going to give this away. So what I'm going to do on the next stream, I am going to put everybody that actually puts their name into the chat and says that they want to join in on the giveaway. I'll basically put your name down, give you a number, and then I'm going to do a random number pick, and then whoever wins it, they get it if they want it. I mean, it's a good enough racket. It just basically just all slots together. Nothing wrong with it at all. And it has a part there which can hold your brushes, and it's that part these wider areas, they actually hold Tamiya paint, and then it actually holds when it sits up like that sort of thing. So it holds quite a few paints. So yeah. Then we have Mr. William Shorten saying hello all. So hi William, welcome to the stream. But you've now just caught the end of it, I'm afraid, because we have basically got about another 5 minutes or so before I go. I might be ending it soon because Mr. Woof Duff downstairs wants out, I think. And the poor little lad's probably going to be crossing his legs, even though he's drinking even more water at the moment. Then we've got Quinn saying, don't tell Marcus I said that because he will get full of envy, then overcompensate with denials. You got Jeff Light saying, hi, Dorka. Yoshi said, I don't even want to think about how much Warhammer I have to build and paint. For example, I'm on issue 49 of Combat Patrol magazine, and the only thing I've built is a Torgamons. And then you got Joshy saying, evening Dorka, and Josh saying, will you be singing Red Hot Chili Peppers whilst doing this? Give it away now. And then you got William saying, it's okay, it's time to eat anyway. Yeah, well, William, if you join in, I think, again, I'll be on Friday, and until Colin's back, I may run over again like I did last time. So, yeah, we'll get a bit longer. And you got Josh saying, that's a nice paint rack, saved it there. You got Quinn saying, hi, Dorka, and bye, Dorka. So, yeah. I agree with you on the amounts of Warhammer stuff, because I have a big 75 litre tub just down here that has a lot of my figures on, and this is only one of 2 tubs that I have. So yeah, this is tub number 1. And it is literally full of Warhammer figures. So yeah, that's literally jam-packed full of it all. So yeah, I think it's a 75, is it? No, oh sorry, it's 45 litre this one. The other one, the bigger one's 75. So that's why I have of all figures there to do. And then there's also my other 3 box sets of stuff that needs to be done. So I'm going to go to my up camera because there we go. So yeah, as a paint rack, as I said, I will be giving that away. It's in very good condition. This is also one of the racks that the gentleman that quit modelling gave me. I did have 2 of them, but I gave one of them away already, and this is the other one. So that's going to be going to find its way to somebody hopefully very soon next week. And it doesn't matter where you are. If you live abroad, I'm not bothered, I will still get it posted out to you as well. David's saying, well, that'll keep you quiet for 5 minutes. Yeah. I'm not as quick as I was before. I mean, it's going to take me a bit of practice to get back to being fast at painting again and doing figures. As you can tell, it's taking me a bit longer to get to most of this all done. So it's getting there. But that's the piece I'm looking forward to painting the most. But it's going to take me a good few hours to get that done properly. You got Richard saying, I still have about 20 copies of the Age of Sigma to do, one of which is the Storm Drakes. And for some unknown reason, I brought 2 of each copy, meaning I have 4 of those models. Yeah, that's from the Stormbringer set, if I remember rightly. They are the ones that I wanted to get, but I do have the 3 of them already from a different box set that I bought. Well, I actually got bought for me as a present. And then I've also got the big main Storm Drake, and that's going to be one of my next main projects to do with Warhammer. Let's see if I can find it again. I think I put them all back down here. Ah, there it is. Let's move you back to it. Because you got the Storm Drake, which is them ones. So I've got them two there to do, which is I think the ones that come with the last set of like oh, pardon me, the Stormbringer magazine. But then I also have Star Drake, which is the really big one, and that's got the one with Lord Celestin on it. So that's they are two of the sets that I'll be doing, and then hopefully can make them into a diorama set to go into like one piece. That's what I intend doing with them. But if you ever want to get rid of any of your Age of Sigmar stuff, you're more than welcome to send it to me. I don't mind. Then you got William saying, "Can you send me one, Joshy B?" And you got Josh saying, "Dorka, I'd glad to, but glad I did now though. They're selling between £70 to £80, I think now." Yes, the sets are they are £77.50 for the two Storm Drakes. God. So yeah, that's how much they are. You've got Quinn saying, "My brain knows Ross is in the attic, but I choose to ignore that. Irritating logic meant me and believe he is in a tent." You got to say, I think I also got two of those that Carl painted, the bog monsters looking thing. Yeah. Nice. You got some good ones. I mean, is it like that dude, the Kronos one, because that's the like a boggy monster one, the bog monster one. Yeah, the first ones are the ones I've got, but not in the box. I paid £10 each for the 6 magazines to make them. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That they have a habit of doing that. They'll split them over sort of like 3 or 4 magazines on some of them. Then we've got the Mickey take is one of the magazines contain just the bases. Yes, that is correct. They'll just contain 2 bases in the stands for them. That's how they do it, and that's how they make their money on it, sadly. Well, looks out. Yeah, he's definitely wanting out down there. So I am going to say no night all. Take care, stay safe, and happy modelling, and hope to see you very soon on Friday. So I'll say bye bye for now. Take care. Bye.